The Scarlet Letter as a story of sin, crime and punishment. Marks 10-12. Answer. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." It is God's seventh commandment, and those who violate it are sinners. But this is what exactly happens in Hawthorne's novel, The Scarlet Letter. The novel, The Scarlet Letter, takes us to the early days of Puritan society. This book has derived its title from the custom which was strictly practiced by the Puritan settlers. Whenever a woman was caught in adultery, she had to wear the letter A, embroidered in scarlet color on her dress on the bosom. A scarlet letter symbolizes blood, death, childbirth, and life. The novel deals with the consequences of the sin of adultery in the lives of the three people most affected by it. These three people are Hester and Dimmesdale, the pair of illicit lovers, and the aggrieved husband, Chillingworth. It is an outrage of one individual against another and against the social code of ethics. This story is a story of sin too. This is why Hester and Dimmesdale, who have committed adultery, cannot be forgiven. The novel begins with a scene where a young woman, Hester Prynne, is standing on the scaffold in the summer morning in the marketplace in Boston. Her sin is she has given birth to Pearl in spite of being a widow, nobody knowing the identity of the father. She stands in disgrace, trying to hide the scarlet letter by holding her child close. People see Hester as a morally degraded woman and express hatred. They urge her to confess the name of her lover, but she remains silent. Hester's husband Chillingworth, who has been thought till now to have died in the sea 7 long years back, appears in disguise of a doctor at the prison. He tries many a time to know the name of Hester's lover but does not get successful and becomes terribly frustrated. He is actually a big sinner in the sense that he has been absent from Hester's life for 7 years, depriving her of all the pleasures of conjugal life. It is natural for Hester to seek love and fell in love with Dimmesdale. Dimmesdale is in fact a greater sinner than Hester because he has gone against his holy profession at the church. Committing adultery by an ecclesiastic is really an unforgivable crime and sin in the Puritan society. He proclaims his guilt and shows everyone the letter A, imprinted on his chest, and then dies. Thus Dimmesdale receives his punishment in the form of death. Even before dying, he receives enough mental disturbance proportionate to his sin. His conscience allows him no rest and he gets troubled constantly by his soul. He cannot sit, sleep or study peacefully. He remains awake at night, writes sermons, and keeps fast. But the Puritan belief, a man must be true confessor, keeps haunting his soul. He finally goes into paroxysms of guilt and confesses his sin, and dies soon after. Thus, the act of adultery in the novel is shown to be a major sin and unforgivable crime against society, as it involves the violation of the moral code formulated and honored by the society. Hawthorne has given the concept of sin and evil from Puritan point of view. Hester's loveliness is shown by a sense of guilt. The concept of sin, crime and punishment is thus vividly depicted through Hester's life and Dimmesdale's inner guilt. Finished. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates of ready-made notes on English literature.